Hi everyone, this is Alan Rosinski of Metro Manhattan Office Space. Today I'd like to discuss the new regulation from the New York State Department of State stating that residential tenants no longer have to pay brokerage fees for rental apartments. Somewhat off topic, I'm a commercial real estate broker, but this is an important story because it's going to affect landlords, the brokerage communities, tenants, and the overall real estate market, residential real estate market in Manhattan. The way it's worked traditionally is that landlords have retained brokers to market their residential properties, and tenants have paid the brokerage commission. Now, this, according to the regulation, may very well become illegal. It's actually, there's a temporary restraining order on it which has been issued. So the future of this regulation is somewhat unclear at this point. But there's going to be a major impact on tenants, on brokers, on landlords, and I'd like to discuss that. There's really two categories of residential landlords in New York City. Owners of rent stabilized or rent regulated apartments and owners of free market apartments. So what's going to happen if a broker cannot collect a commission from a tenant? The owners of regulated apartments are probably going to stop paying the commission. They can't raise rents, so there's no real way to pass along this expense except to try to eliminate it. And that's going to happen a lot. The larger landlords, some of the smaller absentee owners who are maybe out of state are going to need to use a broker, but their buildings will be considerably less profitable because they're going to have to pay a brokerage commission to get tenants into their apartments. Now, what will happen for the other category of residential landlord, a landlord who owns free market apartments, is they're going to raise their rents. They're going to pay the commission. They're going to raise the rent for the new tenant. Let's say they sign a one-year lease with a residential tenant. They're going to increase the rent to cover the 1 month, or sometimes it's 15% commission that they have to pay the broker. Now, it's not going to be very good ultimately for the tenant because the tenant's going to avoid the upfront payment of the fee, but it'll be spread out over 12 months, or if it's a 2-year lease, over 24 months. But when that lease is renewed, landlord's going to expect an increase over a higher base rent. So ultimately, it's going to increase the cost of residential housing in New York City. And in terms of brokers are going to have far fewer listings because the owners of rent-regulated apartments are going to get rid of the brokers. They're not going to be able to afford to pay. So there's going to be less access to the more affordable rent-regulated apartments. Brokers are going to have no incentive whatsoever to show them because they're not going to be able to earn a commission. The business is commission driven. It's not a charity. Now, what could happen is tenants will be permitted to retain a broker to find them a space. To find them rather an apartment. However, they may not quite understand the value added of doing so. They may be reluctant. It remains to be seen whether this sort of service will take off in New York City. Tenants customarily, and I know it from commercial, tenants do not want to pay brokers. They expect a landlord to pay a broker. So this is a regulation which had very good intentions, and the unintended consequences of this may be very much on the negative side. Higher rents, less apartments to view for individuals who are looking for a new place. But we will see. There's far more details about the this new law on my website in the most recent blog. Hope this information is of interest. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and have a nice day. Bye now, and until the next time.